he was taking a lot of chances as well. So, you know, it just depends on which Floyd Mayweather you talk about. You talk about money, or do you talk about pretty boy?
It's impossible for that money not to affect you and phase you. And you see it, that is, and you're so dead on.
Terence Crawford took a jab at Floyd Mayweather amid reports of his alleged involvement in a recent scam and rumors of bankruptcy. While the world buzzes with reactions to rumors of Floyd Mayweather going bankrupt, he seems unbothered. Mayweather brushed off Terence Crawford's taunts, saying he has no interest in going back and forth over petty talk. He bluntly stated that his focus remains on real estate, ironically the very thing that has contributed to the biggest financial setbacks of his career.
You know, the younger Floyd Mayweather, you know, going back and forth on the internet with different people. But I'm in a better place in my life right now. You know, I couldn't ask to be in a better place. So the old Floyd Mayweather, when I used to go back and forth with people on social media, I don't do that anymore, because I'm truly, truly blessed, way beyond belief. You know, what's important to me right now is my real estate, my family.
On the other hand, Terence Crawford hasn't held back from pointing out the flaws in Floyd Mayweather's career. He accused Mayweather of using banned substances during his fight with Manny Pacquiao, a controversy that's long stirred debate. Crawford sat down with Joe Rogan to discuss the issue, openly criticizing Floyd's actions and calling out his erratic behavior.
You guys can use IVs to rehydrate?
We can't use IVs either.
No? When did they change that?
I ain't never, they changed anything. I think that was legal, because you know when Floyd fought Pacquiao, that was a thing.
Terence Crawford went on to emphasize that using IVs for dehydration is not legal under anti-doping regulations. He firmly stated that Floyd Mayweather used this method ahead of his fight with Manny Pacquiao. According to Crawford, this raised serious questions about the legitimacy of Floyd, further adding fuel to all of his ongoing controversies.
IVs or something like that. But yeah, you can't use that stuff.
You can use the IV to mask performance-enhancing drugs. So that's why they outlawed it.
Yeah.
Tim Bradley, speaking on the reports of Floyd Mayweather's alleged bankruptcy, pointed out that Floyd's actions throughout his career have already fueled jealousy, hatred, and envy. Bradley emphasized that the current money scam controversy Mayweather is caught up in is a result of his own decisions. He questioned how someone who earned hundreds of millions could end up at the center of such a financial scandal.
You know, there's always going to be, you know, when you're at the top, there's always going to be a lot of hatred and a lot of jealousy and envy. So, you know, Mayweather's gonna have to deal with that. To me, Mayweather didn't lose, man. $275 million. I don't see how you lose, and I don't care what anybody say. I really don't. This guy will never have to work again his whole life. I mean, from generation after generation, the Mayweather's gonna always have money. So, hey, I don't understand how he lost.
Speaking about the evolution of his business strategy, Floyd Mayweather recently shared some personal insights. Amid reports of bankruptcy, he openly admitted to financial losses, revealing that much of his money was drained through failed real estate ventures. Mayweather acknowledged the setback, but framed it as part of the risks that come with big investments.
One of the best investments that I did was New York real estate. So it started off with 7 figures, and I was getting a certain amount of money every month. When I first gave them $5 million, I was getting $50,000 a month. So I said, yo, the money kept coming on the 18th every month. 50,000 would come in. I still was competing, I still was fighting, I still was active, and I still was making crazy money. I told the guys, well, I'm gonna bring y'all another 8 figures. I said, I'm gonna bring you guys 8 figures now. I know I gave you guys 7 figures, but I'm gonna bring you guys 8 figures. It was paying off. So what I did was I went and dumped 9 figures on them.
Reacting to the situation, Terence Crawford spoke candidly in a recent interview. When asked about Floyd Mayweather and his obsession with money, Crawford didn't hold back. He pointed out that the cracks in Floyd's image are finally showing, questioning the narrative that's painted him as an untouchable millionaire.
Earlier in his career, he was taking a lot of chances as well. So, you know, it just depends on which Floyd Mayweather you talk about. You talk about money, or do you talk about Pretty Boy? Because Pretty Boy was the what is seek and destroy.
Confronting Floyd Mayweather's obsession with money and how it has seemingly backfired, Dana White also weighed in with a blunt reaction. Dana stated that it was always hard to imagine the money wouldn't eventually catch up to him. With the bankruptcy controversy unfolding, he declared, "Floyd is done. This is the end of the illusion."
Like he did when he was broke.
It's impossible for that money not to affect you and phase you. And you see it, that is, and you're so dead on.
In reflecting on how money has ultimately affected Floyd Mayweather, Dana White expressed a sense of disappointment and sadness over Floyd's reported financial downfall. He admitted he had long anticipated something like this happening, given Floyd's lifestyle and obsession with wealth. Dana noted that while the signs were clear to many, Floyd seemed completely unaware of how deeply it would impact him.
Once you start to make that kind of money and you want to say, well, it never changed me, it's impossible not to change. It's impossible to go from, where you were to where you are today financially.
As Floyd Mayweather's career faces serious turbulence, Chris Eubanks Sr. has joined the chorus of criticism, accusing him of defamation and reckless influence. Eubanks Sr. claimed that Mayweather played a role in steering his son toward poor decisions, slamming Floyd for being overly obsessed with money and branding him a playboy.
Floyd Mayweather, I love him as a boxer. As a man, he is behind, and he's holding my children back by giving them the wrong perception of what you should be aiming for with your success. It isn't girls. Girls are my princesses. They should not be corrupted with clubs and bling and shaking.
Eubanks Sr. didn't hold back, criticizing Mayweather's flashy lifestyle and lack of accountability. According to Eubanks Sr., the current scam controversy is simply Floyd reaping the consequences of his own actions. He held Floyd accountable for possessing the unresponsive attitude towards the dignity of his career.
Cloaks of dignity is what they should wear, or dance in a dignified way. But how wonderful it would be to just be in this suit of armor. It's called a cloak of dignity.
Now facing bankruptcy, Floyd Mayweather appears to be making major changes to his lifestyle. According to Chael Sonnen, Floyd has shut down one of his malls and is now trying to lease it out to generate income. Sonnen questioned how Mayweather plans to bounce back, especially after repeatedly trying to defend his financial reputation.
Floyd Mayweather has closed down a mall. He has rented out the entire mall and he spent $15 million. The proof that this happened is Floyd in a mall and Floyd with a bag of cash. It probably had about 100 grand in it.
Calling it a gimmick, Chael Sonnen questioned Floyd Mayweather's real intentions behind shutting down the mall, suggesting it was just a move to save face rather than a genuine business decision. He claimed Floyd framed it as an effort to not disrupt others at the mall, but Sonnen wasn't buying it. He slammed Mayweather for constantly portraying himself as a VIP while avoiding the reality of his financial situation.
He says, man, I'm a VIP, I'm a VP, I'm a VVVVIP. Do you want to know why he was whispering, guys? He was whispering so that he didn't disrupt the employees and fellow shoppers at the mall. It's okay. This is a gimmick.
Despite the looming bankruptcy and growing criticism, Floyd Mayweather doesn't seem ready to change, and Chael Sonnen made sure to call that out. In a recent statement, Sonnen pointed to Floyd's refusal to evolve, saying, "Floyd did everything that Floyd is supposed to do. It's strange that a 50-year-old man would continue to do what he did when he was 28 years old. That's strange." Chael Sonnen didn't hold back in calling out what he believes are false claims about Floyd Mayweather's wealth. He flat out stated that the reports of Floyd being a billionaire are all lies, insisting that Mayweather hasn't even earned $100 million in reality. As a former fighter and now a promoter, Sonnen claimed he understands the ins and outs of boxing finances, and that the numbers just don't add up.
There's reports online that Floyd's a billionaire. There's reports that he was the highest paid athlete in this year and this year and this. First off, he's never gotten $100 million for a flight. Not even remotely close. But
you think it's bullshit?
I know it is, because I know the fight business. I've been in the fight business my whole life. I'm a promoter right now.
Meanwhile, Chael Sonnen dropped a bombshell on the boxing world, claiming that Floyd Mayweather is now dull and far from the icon he once was. With the weight of bankruptcy hanging over him, Sonnen argued that Floyd had lost the very credentials that defined his legacy. He emphasized that the glitz, glamour, and status Floyd built over decades have faded with his financial downfall.
He's probably made about 60 million before in one night, which is crazy numbers. Mike Tyson, to put in perspective, when he fought Michael Spinks, that was the biggest fight of all time. When that fight happened, and one got 30 million and one got 29. And
$250 million against Manny Pacquiao.
Oh, no fighter in history of the world. $250 million to go and box?
Yeah.
Chael Sonnen didn't hold back, going as far as to call Floyd Mayweather a dumb while weighing in on his current situation. Sonnen claimed that Floyd's urge to return to the ring isn't about legacy, it's out of financial desperation. He stressed that the only shot Floyd has at salvaging what's left of his reputation is to fight again. According to Sonnen, the truth about what Floyd did throughout his career is finally coming to light, and it's nothing short of disgraceful.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you call it breaking news, but I will tell you unequivocally right now, Floyd Mayweather does and is planning to box one more time.
Observing Floyd Mayweather's seemingly unbothered attitude, Chael Sonnen called it out as something that shouldn't be ignored. He questioned whether Floyd truly believes he can be exposed as bankrupt and still have people celebrate him like a hero. Sonnen criticized the arrogance behind that mindset, calling it both delusional and disgraceful. He firmly asserted that Floyd needs to stop pretending and start taking the situation seriously.
Floyd's broke. You gotta understand, the only thing more embellished than Floyd Mayweather's pay-per-view numbers is Floyd Mayweather's net worth, and he made a lot of money. But remember this, it does not matter what you made, it matters what you kept, and he is a dum-dum.
Chael Sonnen didn't mince words, stating that Floyd Mayweather has been a liar throughout his entire career. He pointed out that even during his time in jail, Floyd was bragging about making $20 million, a claim Sonnen dismissed as nothing more than a fabricated narrative. With Mayweather now reportedly bankrupt, Sonnen sarcastically suggested he would have been better off taking a tour in Japan for $8 million instead.
I'm not positive that guy comes back, and we will find out. And it's very hard to rattle Floyd. Floyd just smiled when it happened, but Floyd also didn't know how to interpret it. Is this a cultural issue and I was just heavily disrespected? Is that what, do I need to whip your ass? Or is this just part of the show and you threw flowers at my feet, of which I wasn't going to pick up and smell and put in a vase anyway?
Reacting to the situation, Ade Oladipo reflected on just how central money has been to Floyd Mayweather's identity. He expressed genuine sadness, saying he was deeply hurt by the news of Floyd's financial downfall. Oladipo remarked that the man once known as Pretty Boy, who later became Money Mayweather, is now being widely recognized as nothing more than a bankrupt scammer.
I mean, Floyd's really got this thing figured out. You go pick up $8 million, but Chael's sitting over here saying, oh, you didn't make all $20 million. He made $8 million. This is beautiful. Went over to Japan, had light work.
Amid the flood of reactions, Bill Haney also shared his thoughts, laughing at the fact that Floyd Mayweather has now been labeled a scammer. With news of his bankruptcy spreading, he mocked Floyd for constantly bragging about being at the top, only to now be exposed as being broke. Haney didn't hold back, stating that Floyd is clearly in the streets now with nothing left.
What Floyd Mayweather has been doing for the past, 15 years since he changed his nickname from Pretty Boy to Money, and that has been showing off his money. The important word there is he's. He's been showing off his wealth, right? His watches, his private jets. He's been going to the bank and counting millions and carrying it out the bank in, in duffel bags. But he's been showing off his money. That has angered a few people. Even I, to be fair, I'm not going to sit on the fence here. I tweeted and said, this is quite sad.
Sharing his disappointment, Ariel Helwani didn't hold back in blasting Floyd Mayweather for getting exposed. He emphasized that Floyd's actions were a massive misstep, calling it a huge embarrassment. Helwani expressed that he never expected someone of Mayweather's stature to get involved in anything like this.
It seems like something happened and he's pulling the plug. So it's a massive miss on his part. It's embarrassing. I mean, this is not the kind of thing that Floyd is usually involved in.
Calling attention to the ongoing drama, Triple H weighed in with his thoughts on the situation. He pointed out that Floyd Mayweather's flaws have been exposed in a major way, noting how damaging this has been to his image. In Triple H's view, the fact that Floyd isn't focusing on rebuilding his reputation is deeply concerning. And
he's showing you the flaws, and there's too much family drama going on. He's not focused. He's not training.
There you have it, folks. A whirlwind of reactions, accusations, and drama surrounding Floyd Mayweather's financial downfall. From Terence Crawford's biting comments to Chael Sonnen's brutal honesty, it's clear that the boxing world is watching closely as the once untouchable champion faces a massive fall from grace. Will Floyd rise from this scandal, or has his empire crumbled for good? Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, this saga is far from over. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more updates on this wild ride.